worldwide fans of the planet's hottest entertainment with an edge. I'm Jaime En Fuego, welcoming you here to my namesake program, Enfuegotainment. That's right. Welcome. So very happy to have you here. And this is the continuing coverage for the Oscars 2019 Best Picture race as I count down from 8 all the way to number 1 in my order. Yes, that's right. Best Pictures of the Year as per the Academy. And thus far, at number 8, I put Bohemian Rhapsody. At number 7, I put Vice. At number 6, excuse me, I put The Favorite. And at number 5, I put Black Panther. So here we are to number 4. And number 4 is none other than writer, director extraordinaire. That's right, Alfonso Cauron's Netflix exclusive ROma, which was nominated for a ridiculous amount of awards between Yalitza for Best Actress, Marina for Best Supporting Actress. I think it got Best Director nods, Best Cinematography, all these different things, man, and rightfully so. It's a very slow, sad at times, beautiful film, black and white, takes place in 1970 down in Mexico, and it follows the life of this, young woman who, she's in a slightly, they're not like super rich, but they are definitely a well-to-do married couple with a number of children, and she's like their live-in maid, basically. And Yalitza, I guess, had never acted before, which is really incredible and just makes her performance so great here. And Marina, who plays the mother and the wife and like her, her employer, basically, she has more of like a lengthy, like career list and so on and so forth. But yes, here on Enfuegotainment, I basically cover the bueno, the malo, and the feo. This is especially important for this particular film. And so the good is that this is a tremendously shot film, especially whether it's the shot choices that Cauron decides to go with are especially interesting in my estimation. He has a terrific track list. He first wowed me with the third and the best Harry Potter movie, and really the movie that got me interested in the Harry Potter franchise, which was Prisoner of Azkaban. The first 2 Potters, the ones that Chris Columbus did, I was just like, man, these are okay, whatever. But then I remember just going to the theater and watching this third, much darker entry that was masterfully directed, and it really set the tone for the rest of the franchise, because all of the rest of the entries, including the prequel spin-off stuff that has been Fantastic Beasts, it all took cues from just the look and the vibe that Alfonso brought to the proceedings for that third film. It was a game changer for the entire series. It helped it grow up, in my opinion. He also went on to do the incredible Children of Men that I have sitting on my shelf right over there. He won a ton of acclaim for Gravity, but this, you can tell, is a very personal picture, and it just has that genuine, it's such a bueno, good feel to it, and it's so well acted, and yet, some of those shots where it will just like sit and watch like something as mundane as just like water, basically, like, just covering a floor as this woman is like about to clean, and just a slow pan back, and it goes from something like that to something as drastically different as some of these just beautiful shots of the, more rural Mexican countryside and everything. And just the shots of the city and stuff, and it's 1970, and the fact that it had, period pieces alone are always impressive to me, if they're going decades in the past, and it's just so great to see, just the vibrance and everything, but also the despondency, and, the aspect of poverty too, and the scripted, what happens to this woman, Yalitza's character, it hits you in the heart, man. It really genuinely does. And it happens early on in the movie, so I'll basically at least give this one plot detail, is that this guy gets her pregnant and bails. It's really effed up, and she's like trying to track him down, and she's like trying to get through with the support of this family that employs her and everything. But Yalitza and Marina their characters have a very fascinating dynamic in this, because they are both women who are wronged in this film. And it's just the way that they bond, but then like there's a love, but it is kind of an odd dynamic in the fact that, yeah, she is kind of looked down upon as the servant, and yet each of these women encounters such catastrophe with a man in their own lives, and it's a really good movie. But you know, if I'm gonna get into the MALO, the bad is that you know, it is a little on the slow side, and it's definitely not going to be for everybody. This is a film that I know a lot of my friends, you know, my beloved co-host on the horror show, Cecil Laird, he would think this movie is like watching paint dry. And there's lots of people that would subscribe to that frame of thinking. They would just be like, this movie is so boring, there's very little, and they're really, it is slow going, it is slow moving. The interesting thing though, I'll get to this in the ugly, is there is some sheer poignance and significance to the time period that they decided that Cauron, because he wrote the script as well, decided to set this. I don't know, some may find you know, the bad to also be like the minimalist aspect of the fact that there isn't really score to this. And that sort of minimalist approach may not be for everybody, and I could see some people you know, very deliberately thinking it's a bad thing, it's a lacking thing, but it's a very deliberate choice, you know? I mean, Alfonso goes for a no-frills approach here, and it's almost like borderline like documentary, you know, in the way that he shoots it and stuff. And some people may not like that, and they may think it's just, you know, kind of plotting and boring and whatever. And that's to each their own, you know. Cinema is obviously, you know, it's just like any sort of art. It's debatable, it's selective, and it's all to your own personal taste. But the real ugly here, beyond the way that you know, Yalitza's character gets totally effed over by this trash dude who, you know, gets her pregnant, and he's like studying to be like a fighter and all this other stuff, and you know, he's like, martial arts is my life. And there is where she finally tracks him down and confronts him, man, it's a rough scene. It hurt my heart, man. And there's something really ugly that ends up happening in the third act, which is just heartbreaking as well. And boy, yeah, I'm gonna spoil, okay? I'm gonna spoil. Give me a moment. Spoil. She ends up losing the baby, man. And so not only does she get screwed over by this guy, and I guess he gets what would presumably be his wish, you know? She ends up, and it's not like she miscarries, like she gives birth to a dead child. And I mean, another ugly is the fact that all of this is set to the political unrest of 1970 Mexico. And I mean, government seizing land and all this other stuff, and there's riots and protests and all these different things going on. And you kind of make the correlation that is why she ends up losing the child, because, you know, she doesn't have proper medical care, you know, being impoverished and everything, and can't get to the hospital in time. They're stuck in traffic, and you know, the whole labor process transpires after, you know, there's like this robbery going down, and there's shootings and all kinds of, it's a movie that in its simplicity travels into ugly, brutal territory and gets feo at times, and yet the resiliency of these two lead women and this bond that, you know, just gets stronger between the two of them after Yalitza's character miscarries, after Marina, you know, the mom and the wife and stuff, she has a husband who's a doctor who's cheating on her, you know, and, you know, he runs off with his, you know, mistress and everything. And so it just gets really ugly and sad for these two women, but it's a fascinating character study, and it is a beautifully shot film. It's not my favorite film of the year, but really for me, with the exception, and like, I think it's a two-horse race between ROMA and Green Book as to who's going to win Best Picture. But my money is on both of these women winning for each of the acting categories. I think both Yalitza and Marina are both going to win for Best Actress and Best Supporting Actress, respectively. You heard Fuego predicting it right here. So, man, if you're into slow-moving, very meditative art house cinema that is just really brilliantly crafted, that's what this movie is. So I definitely recommend ROMA. I recommend the hell out of ROMA, but I know that ROMA is definitely not going to be for everybody. So I have been Jaime En Fuego. Y'all have been amazing as always, and you can find me on all social media sectors like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and the YouTubies. Make sure to tune in this Sunday, February 24th, to the Oscars, where you can see who actually gets to win all of these different awards and stuff. How many is ROma going to take home? You know, ROma and The Favorite were the ones that really just cleaned up in the nomination department, both from foreign directors, you know, Yorgos being Greek, and then Alfonso, you know, I believe he is, I don't think he's from Spain, I believe he is from Mexico, but please do not brutalize me in the comments if I'm mistaken about that. But yes, I would always be supremely appreciative if you like this video. Hit the like button, obviously, share, do the subscription thing, hit the bell so you get notifications about the rest of my Oscar Best Picture countdown / preview kind of thing that I've been doing. Boy, I've been relaunching this Enfuegotainment coverage this year, and it's been a ton of fun. In the Oscars, this is the first year where I've seen everything, pretty much, in the Oscars, not just Best Picture category, but you know, in most of the things that are nominated film-wise, and it just has me really excited for the awards. So I also just put up my review for, last month I put up my review for The Phantom Menace, and I'm getting ready this weekend to put up on the 24th, may the 4th be with you, the 24th in this case, because I'm doing a new Star Wars review of all of the different films, you know, including the spin-offs and the Ewok movies and Clone Wars and all that, as we lead up to the December release of Episode 9. So check out my Phantom Menace review that went up last month in January, and yes, the same morning as the Oscars, you can check out my Attack of the Clones review. If you want spectacular, scarific coverage from Fuego, I spend a ton of time on The Horror Show at youtube.com/The Horror Show channel. We are very blessed to have just surpassed the 25,000 subscriber milestone, which is really super sweet. We do film reviews, trailer reactions, convention coverage, comedy sketches, video game let's plays, all kinds of dope, scary stuff. So if for whatever reason you've stumbled upon my channel here and don't know what my main gig is here on the YouTubies, which I kind of doubt, but hey, never know. You never know. So, yes, say thank you, everybody. Thank you, Sai. That's my little Stevie K reference. Greatly appreciated. And until the film reel of Ka comes around once more, I shall say hasta luego, cinemigos. But I am hopeful that we get to reconnect sooner rather than later. And I guess until then, peace out.